a Kiss fan. Even more so, I'm a bigger Ace Frehley fan. Just for as long as I can remember, he's always been my favorite musician, even growing up as a little kid. I really enjoyed his Frehley's Comet stuff, and now more recently, his solo stuff with the Anomaly CD. Well, he recently just came out with a book. It's called No Regrets. Now, when I first heard he was going out with this book, I really wasn't in any hurry to go and buy it, even though I'm a huge fan of his. I honestly didn't think it was going to be that great. Well, last week I was at the bookstore doing some Christmas shopping, and I'd seen it on the shelf. It was the last one they had, and it was only like $16, so I figured, I'll just go ahead and buy it. Well, last night I finished reading it, and I was really surprised at how much I really enjoyed the book. He talks a lot about his childhood, growing up in the Bronx. He talks about his mom and his dad, his brother and sister. He talks a lot about his drug use over the years, and there's actually quite a few funny stories in there. There's one in particular. He talks about how he never got his high school diploma, and I guess when him and Jeanette were together, I think they were probably just dating at this point. I don't know if they were married, I could be wrong, but she kind of encouraged him to take night classes to get his diploma, so that's what he did. Well, when he finally got his diploma, he called his friend and told him about it, and his friend's like, well, that's cool, we should celebrate. So they ended up getting a bunch of beer, and they snuck the beer into a movie theater. And I guess they say like really close to the front row. They're watching a movie, they're getting drunk, they're drinking, throwing popcorn at the screen, just being loud and obnoxious. Well, I guess like the usher comes down, and I guess it was just like a little teenage kid. He tells them, keep it down, or they're going to have to leave. Well, Ace really chases the kid away. So they continue drinking, being loud and stuff. The kid comes back. Ace really ends up punching the kid in the face. The kid starts crying. So Ace and his friend take off out of the movie theater, and they end up back at one of their places, and Ace really realizes that he had left his high school diploma in the movie theater. So I guess they waited until it was closed, and they go back, and they broke the door. I think it was probably like a glass door. And Ace Frehley goes back into the movie theater. He's looking for his diploma. He couldn't find it anywhere. And I guess he was supposed to meet Jeanette like the following night to like celebrate. So he ends up cutting his hand up and everything, trying to look for his diploma. And he never did find it. So like the next morning, I guess he goes down to the high school and they issued him a replacement diploma. And it's just kind of funny, just because he finally got his diploma after all that stuff, and then he loses it. He leaves it behind in the movie theater during that whole stupid situation. But there's other stories. There's one story. I'm not going to tell you about it. If you want to know about it, you have to pick up the book and read it yourself. But Ace Frehley, he calls it the golf club affair. It was so funny. When I read it, I literally laughed out loud. It was so funny. Just thinking about it makes me want to laugh. But he tells like a lot of funny stories like that. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is he didn't talk a whole lot about Frehley's Comet. I was kind of hoping there would be more of that stuff in there. He talks, a little bit about it, but nothing major. I'm just such a huge fan of that lineup, that music that he put out with that band. I just kind of wish there was more of it in here. But I would say, if you're an Ace Frehley fan, I would say check it out. I'm glad I actually ended up buying it instead of waiting any longer than I did. But I would recommend it. It's pretty funny. I think it's worth the $16 to pick up. So just check it out.